Welcome in to Just Two Murphs Talking Hoops, the journey to June. Well, today we got a treat for you. We have got a treat. This is not just some run-of-the-mill, ordinary pod today. This, everybody, is the 75th extravaganza pod. That's right, Coach. Welcome in to the 75th episode of this podcast.
75 episodes later.
75 pods.
Just two Murphs, J2Ms. And happy birthday, happy 75th anniversary, birthday, what have you. But happy birthday, Podcast P, the original Podcast P. Sorry, Paul George, you started your podcast this year. We started when?
We started in January of 2020.
So he is the original Podcast P. Happy birthday to him, my brother. I love you. He just had a birthday to pass on the 8th. So this is extravaganza. This is the birthday pod. This is a lot going on here.
I appreciate the shout out there with me being the original P, but we have another P besides that Podcast P. We also got preseason P. Tournament P Cup. We'll get there.
Yeah, let's go, baby.
But we got to go back in time, man, because this is an anniversary. And yes, it started as Just Two Murphs talking sports, but you and I both know the theme has always been basketball. So we had to change it to Just Two Murphs talking hoops. But obviously, we're going to talk about the regular season. We're finally here in our first regular season pod of season 2. Of Just Two Murphs talking hoops. But do you mind if we go back in time a little bit, man? We got to celebrate. We got to celebrate the pod today, man.
Time machine. We got to step back.
This is where I like to go today. I definitely want to. We're going to talk regular season, everybody. Don't you worry. There's so much to talk about 2 weeks into the NBA season. That's what we're here for. That's the content we give. But we also got to celebrate. And before we got on the pod today, when I'm thinking 75 pods, I just can't believe it, man. You know what I thought I'd do, Coach? I thought I would give you a little top 5 pods of all time on Just Two Murphs.
Top
5.
Top 5 favorite episodes. I love
it. No,
it.
not favorite. These are the top 5 most downloaded.
I like this.
Pods.
Oh,
we can get there. Yeah. So this is more just informational, Coach. So again, I don't even know if you know this. This is the top 5 most downloaded.
I don't know this because I come in because I'm your trusty sidekick. This is Paul's brainchild, his baby. I come in with the Coach Murph juice and give it that extra flavor. Let's go, baby.
But we can also go into favorite pods too. We'll get there. But we're going to start. Here it is. Our top 5 most downloaded pods. Number 1. We don't need to know. We don't need to go out number of downloads. We just know it's a ton. Number 1. One More Last Dance in the 90s Quarantine Time Machine.
One More Last Dance. That's number 1?
Number 1.
Why you go number 1? You should have went 5, 4, 3, 2, and then.
I probably could have.
You're going backwards.
That's all right. It's okay.
That's the
Let's just get it all out there.
It's all over. There's no build up there. We're going backwards now. That's fine. We do it different here on J2Ms. We go straight to the top. So straight to the top, Last Dance, which was, I was going to talk about this because Podcast Paul and yours truly, Coach Murph, were talking before about this stuff, about the episodes. And I went through to find my favorite episodes. And that was one of the best. That was one of my favorites because we were in the quarantine. We were in pandemic. And that's one of the greatest things about this podcast. It saved us. It actually brought us joy. During pandemic times, this podcast was more than a savior. It was such a great energy and vibe we had going on. And The Last Dance was one of my favorites that we covered.
And what's interesting about how this morphed into just basketball and being our theme. Thank you, pandemic, because sports went away, right? Sports went away. We had nothing to talk about. So in this one, we really got into, because the only thing that we had at the time, no sports. And literally the only thing we had was the Bulls documentary.
Oh yeah.
It was The Last Dance. And we got all excited to talk about it. And that was a fun pod, man.
It swept the nation. We were waiting for that. Very cool behind the scenes.
Yeah, I guess you're right. I did give it a. I did like just go. Here's number one. Sorry. It's okay. We're getting them out.
Right.
Yeah.
So
but it is interesting that one is. I mean, it still gets tons of downloads. I would say every week I look and you see a new download into that one.
Cool.
I don't know why. There's something about
that was great. That's our time as old school, older dogs in the 90s. That was my.
What did we talk about in that pod? I think it was more like, I know there was a few that we did on the Bulls Dynasty, but I remember we talked about sneakers. We're all into sneakers.
Yeah, we did the sneakerhead stuff with Jordan. Yeah. We just talked about the impact of Jordan and Jordans and all that.
And just 90s basketball.
Yeah, and
we just enjoyed that. That was real physical ball, not this softy 3-pointer stuff we're dealing with today.
Yeah. We'll get into that too.
So that was our number one downloaded show.
We got number 4. Let's go. Or number 2. What's number 2?
Yeah, we got to stay with this now. We got to go forward with it. Number 2 is the first podcast we ever did. The Green Machine. Number 2.
Sounding scratchy. I went back to it. The audio was terrible. And that's it. I love it though because
it's history, man. It's the first pod.
Totally.
It's the first pod. You got to start somewhere, man.
We're like, butting heads a little bit. We're like, what's going on? It was growing pains. We're like, what is this? What are we supposed to do? We've grown a lot since then. It's kind of cool.
But that says it all, man. Green Machine. We started with the Celtics. Yeah. It's all about the Celtics. We have lots to talk about them in a little bit. But Green Machine, man, that was number 2. Number 3, most downloaded of all time, Seattle Supersonics, a team ripped away from a city.
Cool. I wasn't on that one. You did that one with one of your guys.
Well, that's when we brought in a guest, a fan from another city. That's been our theme, and now we're kind of changing it up with bringing in real basketball players. We're going to get there in a second, but that was a great one because.
Who was their guest from American University? Who was that?
His name was Jason, right here in Seattle.
Oh, that's right. I called him. What did I call him? I have nicknames for everybody. Forgot.
Born and raised right here in Seattle, and I had to get a Seattle sports fan on because for those listeners that don't know, I live in Seattle, Boston fan on the West Coast. But the Seattle Supersonics are so intriguing to me because at the time when I moved here, only championship in a city, and they moved him away. They're the Oklahoma City Thunder. And we went into the whole thing about how the Oklahoma City Thunder stole their history. The 1979 championship banner for the Sonics, it's Oklahoma City Thunder now. So we went into that whole thing. And for anybody who hasn't listened to that one, take a listen. It's a good one.
That's unacceptable. That banner.
Yeah.
Totally. That's crazy. How history rewrites itself, and just general in history, how things are just rewritten like that. There should be a Seattle Supersonic. That's their championship.
Yeah,
that banner should be there.
Yeah,
up there. Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Well, the good news is the NBA commissioner is coming out and talking about adding 2 new franchises potentially, and that's supposedly Vegas and Seattle. So maybe those Supersonics come back.
Ooh.
So number 4, this one's interesting because we are coming up, folks. I mean, the coach just said it. We started this thing January 2020. We're coming up on 4 years, guys. 4 years of doing this pod. But number 4, quickly moving up the ranks on the court with Caden, a rising star's journey. Number 4.
That's like 2 months ago, not even.
So, we're going to do a little. Well, not really.
That last podcast?
No, it wasn't last. The last one was our preseason pod.
We did the preseason pod and Caden before that, but still.
Caden month before.
Yeah, it's great.
But what's awesome about this one is now that we're in episode 2 of Just 2 Murphs talking hoops, a journey to June, and now that we got Caden on, we're now sharing his journey.
Oh yeah.
So while we're on this, any updates on Caden's journey?
No, they start December 1st, but just they're excited. I sent you the articles. Shout out to Grandville High School, the tallest varsity boys basketball team in the West Virginia. Big, I'm talking 6'6". There's 5 of them, 6'6", 6'6", 6'9", 6'7". It's crazy. 6'5", Caden. They're big boys, and It's exciting. So we'll be having him on the show in January or February. We'll figure that out. But hope you're listening, buddy. But he's
part of the journey. So we're following the NBA journey, but we're sharing his journey too to see
they
where he
could win
goes.
everything. They have the major potential, win all of Michigan, the state. This is major for this team. They didn't know. It was a surprise. Caden just showed up, and the coach, the article is great. Just like, wow.
Great podcast for those that didn't listen. What was awesome about that pod, yes, we're going to be following his journey. Great guy, but he was also history. First time on the podcast, we've had a real hooper.
Yeah.
And we're talking AAU basketball and high school ball and college, and he had a lot of great insight and just
he's going to the NBA. So this is going to be awesome to go back in the archives because we had our guy on the show.
Rising Stars journey, man.
Before all happened.
Quickly moving up the ranks on the most download podcast.
Number 5.
Here it is. Number 5. J2M's The Philly Special.
Oh, Nino.
Uncle Nino. He got knocked down. He was up there a little bit more.
Honestly, I've been thinking about Uncle Nino because they're number 1 in the rankings right now in the East. Philly.
Yep. So that one.
Congratulations.
That was back when we were talking all sports. So we brought in a little football, gave him his props on the Eagles winning. But we've had him on 1 or 2 more times talking about the Sixers. Who should we call them, the Mighty Sixers? We're going to get into that in a second.
I'm not calling them the Mighty Sixers. You can call them whatever you want.
But that's cool, man, right? Those are the 5 most downloaded podcasts, giving it to you on the 75th.
There you go.
Extravaganza pod.
Top 5. First
awesome,
segment
right?
in the books.
Well, before we move on, though, and you kind of kicked it off before I went into the most downloaded, did you want to throw out maybe your favorite episode so far in these first 75? Do you got a favorite out there, Coach?
Yeah, for me, it's probably Caden, just because.
Oh.
Yeah, him and I in our journey together.
Wow.
It was special.
You're lining right up with the listeners.
Yeah, well, that's just because it's that's the essence of the show. Like, we bring a guest on to talk about our love for hoops, but we're following his journey, his personal hoop journey, hoop dreams, man. So it's all, and then his friends and players and family will listen to the show, and we'll get more out there. You'll get more, exposure and listeners. And I got a couple other guys that are interested to come on the show as well. So it's just fun with sharing that with one another, sharing this journey.
I'm going to say my favorite episode, and this is on the fly, so I didn't look up the name of it. And this is so silly of mine because it was just the end of episode. It was just the end of episode 1 it was a more recent one, so it was just Murph talking hoops when we switched to that. But it was the second to last episode of season 1. What was it called? It was when we were down 0-3 to Miami.
Oh, yeah.
That is definitely my favorite. And I'll tell you why. Because we got on, we didn't want to do that podcast. We're down 0-3 to Miami in the Eastern Conference Finals. We got on and we just did this prediction that they were going to get to Game 7. We never said they were going to win it. We just said they're going to get to Game 7. And you and I had so much fun re-listening to that pod before every game with our prognosticating. It was incredible. And it was just so much fun. So that in real time was definitely my favorite episode.
Episode 11, emergency pause. The Celtics remain on life support. The Celtics are denied history as Jimmy Butler backs up his guarantee.
There you go, Ted.
That was episode 12.
There you go, man.
Yeah, I mean, that was fun. That was fun. That great comeback they had. And then we can just get into what the problem is in the NBA. Why we lost.
And boom, and just like that, he's like, enough of the nostalgia.
Yeah,
let's get into the NBA season, baby.
Let's go. Turnovers.
Week 2. Oh man,
go, baby. So
here's the deal.
Thank you, listeners. Thank you for this journey that we're on, Paul, that we create. I love it. We do this once a month with the emergency pod exception, but. Let's go.
One last thing before we jump into our first regular season pod of the 23-24 NBA season.
Yeah.
There is another feature out on the Buzzsprout website of Just Two Murphs Talking Hoops. So for those that haven't checked out our website on Buzzsprout, there's a lot out there, right? We've talked about the support our show. We've talked about a few other things. But now we're actually posting podcasts that the coach and I love. So if you just want to check out some other pods like ours, I got Jason Timpf out there, Hoops Tonight. A little shout out to my guy, little Hoops Tonight. I got the Celtics podcast, Celtics Talk podcast. I got Buzzcast because I like talking to my Buzzsprout people. We'll put a few more out there, but go check it out. That was my last little thing for the 70th pod extravaganza. Now we're moving on, and we can't start the NBA regular season pod without hitting on the most exciting thing of the NBA season. That's right. The in-season tournament, baby.
Oh, man. All right.
I think I'm the only person who cares
all
about
as
it.
excited as Podcast Paul is. But God bless you and your enthusiasm, because we don't care around here at all. Every person I talked to was like, whatever. But like, boo. But Paul's a cheerleader for this. Go ahead,
right.
Paul.
Here we go. I got a lot on this, everybody. A ton. So you can jump in, Coach, when you want to. So leading into the preseason pod, when they launched this over the summer, we talked about it. Like, what is this nonsense? And I kind of felt that way, like most people. But then as we got into it, first I saw what they did with the cool NBA courts. Because this thing started November 3rd, right?
Yep.
But I didn't really check it out for the first time until last night, which was November 10th. Sorry, this is probably going to be posted on Sunday, folks, so I'm a little tardy with my dates, but it's okay. The first time I watched it was the Celtics, for the first time in their history, played on a court that wasn't a parquet in their history. So I had to check this out, right? So I do all this research. What is the in-season tournament? What does it mean? What's happening? Well, here it is. We are playing an in-season tournament game every Friday or Tuesday night through the end of November. So just know, everybody, get excited for your Friday nights, tournament nights. The courts are going to look different. And guess what? The players are going to start getting into it, because only the top 4 make it to the quarterfinals. And it's a knockout round, Coach. So here it is, man.
Till the 9th.
We got A, B, and C groups for. That's right. We're going to get there. And by the way, we are definitely having our next pod December 9th, which is championship of the in-season tournament.
Where is it going to be, too?
Las Vegas, baby.
Yeah, that's what you said. That's why they're going to have that. They're going to have an NBA Vegas team, I bet.
So there's 3 groups, A, B, and C in the East and West, right? The top team out of each group goes on to the quarterfinals, which is the knockout round, and then there's one wild card team. So the way it stands right now in the East, and by the way, we're only 2 weeks into the regular season, folks. The Celtics have only played one of these, but it's okay. Here's the standings as we talk right now.
About 7
Your East leaders, Boston Celtics, the mighty Philadelphia 76ers, and Boston South, the Charlotte Hornets. With our wild card being, take a guess, Coach, who's the wild card in the East?
Oh, hold on. Pacers.
Ted's Miami Heat.
Oh, shoot.
So there you go. Right now, if it ended
now. Always
gets
mentioned in every pod. He is our number one fan.
He just doesn't go away, Mr. Miami Heat. He's always there. He's always on this journey with us. Always. But yeah, as it stands right now, if the group play ended right now, those 4 teams would go to the quarterfinals. Okay. So then in the West, let's move on to the West. The West is Denver Nuggets, Minnesota Timberwolves. We're going to talk a little bit about them in a second. Okay. Hold that thought.
Yes.
Number 3,
ready for that.
The Utah Jazz. You want to guess on the West wild card?
I should know this, huh? Hold on. Let me think.
I'm gonna give you a hint. There's a beam of light.
Oh, I picked them to go. Sacramento, really?
There you go. Sacramento Kings. So those are your leaders right now, folks. Those ones are still in the running. Because, hey, these NBA players might act like they don't care. As this gets closer and they can see $500,000 coming into their pocket, you don't think they're going to start caring? Of course they're going to care.
Coaches.
And here's my take.
Yeah.
Who wouldn't want a little competition in November? We don't get into the playoffs till April, man. It's the beginning of the season. Let's get excited.
Bragging rights. Yeah.
But at the end of the day,
everybody's just like, why are they doing this? Why? Every single sportsman, basketball fan I talk to, it's just they just did it for viewership.
It's probably going to be like why a little bit for the rest of the month.
Yeah,
because really these are just regular season games. They count. But at the end of the month, so that first week of December, so December 5th is going to be the first knockout round. So whoever the top 4 teams are in the East and West, it's a single elimination. I think people will be into that. Then Thursday the 7th, semifinals. And then Saturday the 9th, a championship. People will watch. And how cool would it be if we get a little preview of Boston, Denver in Vegas?
Yeah.
So here's what I'm thinking, though, man. Because I went real deep on this, folks. Real deep. We all care about rest. At the end of the day, this is the journey to June, right?
Yeah.
And I was looking at the NBA calendar, and it looks like when the semifinals and finals are, every other team gets to rest. So here's the real question. I said there's lots of incentives. Everybody wants the cup. Everybody wants the cup. But do they? Does Denver want the cup? Does Boston want the cup? Who's the other top contender? Or do they want to kind of like play it easy where maybe those bottom tier teams like Detroit or Toronto or whatever, they're going to be really fighting harder because do they really have a shot of a championship? So it could go either way, right?
Yep. We'll see what happens.
Here's what I liked about looking at it too, Coach. So back to the leaders right now. Obviously, our Celtics have played 2 weeks of basketball. They look like the best team in basketball. They were 4-0. And then all of a sudden they lost 2 in a row, right?
Yeah.
And everybody's screaming and yelling in Celtics town. No.
Yeah.
The problem with last year's team, they showed up against the competition. They laid down and played like poop against the bad teams. So far this year, see, we thought when they lost to Minnesota, they lost to a bad team. Coach, I'm here to tell you, Minnesota might be going to the NBA Finals.
Whoa, that's crazy talk.
Mark it down, baby.
Yesterday, they beat the Spurs, our boy Victor, Wemby's team, 117-110. They're 6-2. Yep, we can talk about them a little bit, if you want. Players.
Now, I know we're 2 weeks in, but that's what we do, folks. We live in the moment. It's our first pod of the regular season. So all we can go on is what we see in the last 2 weeks. And what I've seen the last 2 weeks, almost I don't have the numbers in front of me.
8 or 9 games have been played.
Right, exactly. So out of 9 games, I don't know the numbers off the top of my head, but I would guess Minnesota's near the tops when it comes to defensive ranking.
I can tell
near the tops when it comes to offense. Anthony, the Ant, Edwards, has gone to another level. This kid is scoring like 30 points a game. He's turning into a star.
That's the last plod. What did I say?
What'd you say, man?
I said, "What? Look out!" I called it. I said he's gonna have a breakout year.
And
yes, I did.
All right, we might have to pull that out.
There's a clip. I said,
all right, well, here we go. Let's check it out. Let's check it out right now.
Let's do it right now. We're gonna see Anthony Edwards doing.
Oh,
he's nice, dude. He's real nice. They're 2-0 in the preseason, but it doesn't matter. It's preseason, dude. I don't care. But right. Anthony Edwards is gonna shine this year.
All right.
Told you so. But he had a game. He had a game against us, the Green. He had a game yesterday against the Spurs. The Spurs. He had 28, and K-Town's at 29. He had some good numbers all the way around. I called that. I'll take that.
So I'm throwing that out there. And then the other one, and you've heard me say it twice now in this pod. I know you're not liking it,
Yeah.
but going into the season, everybody was talking Milwaukee, obviously with Dame Lillard, and the Celtics, and the Phoenix Suns, and the Lakers. All of these teams, not one person out there was talking Philadelphia 76ers. All they were talking about was the drama of James Harden. He's had to get off the team. Are they better than they've ever been 9 games into the season?
Yeah. Looking good, man.
Maxi's another guy, gone up a level.
Yep. He's been every year getting better. He's such an athlete. Good gravy. Speed, explosiveness, finishing at the rim. He's got a great touch. I love his game. It's dangerous. He scored a lot of buckets last game. I think it was, I look it up. I was just looking that up.
We'll be back after a quick break.
If you're really into podcasts like I am, and have thought at times like, I'm listening to these great podcasts, I could also do this. I could get on here and get my voice heard. But where do I start? How do I do a podcast, right? Well, fret no more, because the answer is Buzzsprout. They can make podcasting easy, inexpensive, and it's a fun way to expand your reach online. And Buzzsprout, it's hands down the easiest and best way to launch, promote, and track your podcast. And they'll get your show online and listed in all the major podcast directories like Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and more. And it'll happen within minutes of finishing your recording. Again, podcasting, it's not hard. Look at me and the coach. We've been doing this. We're having fun. But you got to find the right partners. And the team at Buzzsprout, they're passionate about helping you succeed. So when I join over 100,000 podcasters already using Buzzsprout to get your message out to the world, all you need to do, follow the link in the show notes. In our show notes right here, let Buzzsprout know we sent you, and they're going to give you a $20 credit. It's going to be on that second paid invoice, a $20 credit if you sign up for a paid plan, and it's going to help support our show. Buzzsprout, the easy, fun way to start your podcast. Best team in the league right now are the Philadelphia 76ers after 9 games.
7-1. It was the Pistons yesterday. Big deal. But Maxey, yeah, they had, what are the stats? Let me look at. Yep, I knew it. 29. He scored 29. Embiid with 33. Tobias with 24. We'll sleep on Tobias either. So yeah, they're a dangerous team. When healthy.
And that's the big if, because we've seen this with Embiid plenty of times. In fact, last year, remember they went on that 20-game run where they were the number 1 seed, but he always gets hurt at the end of the year.
It always.
And I know. It's real early, but that's what we're talking early.
Yep.
But my whole point with that, because it always comes back to the green, is I'm okay with those losses. Because right now, as it stands, Minnesota, what are they, number 2 in the West? They're either number 2 or number 3. They're up there. And the 76ers, we just talked about them. They're number 1 in the East. So if the Celtics, by the way,
Wolves.
The Celtics, those are 2 teams that have been together a while. They have the same players from last year. We have a new team. We're still figuring it out. And if those are the games that we're going to lose, I'm okay with that. But why I'm really excited right now, right today, Coach, while we're talking, we got the tournament win.
We didn't have D.
We got our first tournament win. But that's not why I'm happy. The one thing that has not been fun about the Celtics so far, 9 games, until last night, was the bench. But the bench is back, baby.
Let's go, Sam Hauser, Peyton Pritchard. Who else was coming out of there? Luke with 10 boards.
Luke!
Yeah, and what I liked about the game, what did I like about the game? Why did I like their percentage?
Low on turnovers.
7. The double-digit rule. If it stays 10 under, I'll give them 10. They win every time. Their boards, they had more boards. This is rare at their free throw line being 71%. They need to do better there. But as long as they keep protecting the ball, this team is unstoppable. It doesn't matter. That's it. D. White wasn't around for the Timberwolves loss. He's had congratulations, second baby. This is the only time he's ever missed a game. I think he has an awesome stat. It's like 158 times. He's only missed 2 games, and it was the birth of his first baby and the birth of his second baby. Congratulations, D. White. Trade of destiny. But they're fine. They're fine. They look good last game. They look better. Get that.
I'm happy for Peyton Pritchard, one of our fans listening out there right now, Mr. Will, talking a lot of trash about Peyton Pritchard. A lot of trash.
Who's talking trash?
Will doesn't like Pritchard.
Oh yeah, I know. People don't. Give him more time too.
Maybe it just took the tournament, man. Maybe we should call him Tournament P or the P Cup. P Cup is a little weird. The cup, baby. It's all about the cup.
There's a P Cup the other day. He's still growing. Peyton Pritchard is just fine. So the eyes are solid defender too.
You know who's a hater out there with all the talking heads? Because I don't know if you watched the end of the game, the post game. Because I'm watching the game and we're getting mad as fans because we're not up by 25 points or something. Like we have to blow out teams. Because we had that one win against the Pacers where we scored more points than we ever did. So after the game, who was on the panel? Michael Wilburn, Brian Windhorst, the bronze guy, and then the hater, our old guy here, Perkins. It's his problem, dude.
KP.
He's like, oh, yeah, the Celtics aren't any good. After they won. And Brian Windhorst is like, no, they're the best team in the NBA. Like,
I know. I watched his preseason, like why they can't win because JB and JT don't compliment themselves. But he was saying when the end of the game, when it came down to it would either go to Pierce or Garnett. You got to have those 2 players, but you don't. We have 3 with Porzingis. Hello, and we'll get into what I'm about to start soon. I have a whole.
We'll get there. I got a little bit more though before we get.
We have a squad. Drew looked so good last game. Did you see him in the beginning of that game? So I was like, we have the best starting 5 we've ever had.
And people got to remember
old Celtics, old back in the
Jalen, JB, and JT, Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown. They got to learn to play with these guys too. Like they're trying to figure out with their great talent how they're supposed to mesh. When that's figured out, last night's a perfect example. Tatum just was trying to find his way, but when he stepped up, and by the way, just give the guy the ball. How great does he look this year? Tatum's gone to another level too?
He has. It's just the turnovers. We just have to protect the ball. Yeah. That's all. That's always the problem. That's the only problem. Same with
Feeling
JB.
Good?
That's it.
Feeling good, aren't you?
You haven't even seen the best of him yet, man.
Not only am I feeling good,
I love JB and Porzingis. Like Porzingis is the guy. Told you how important this guy was going to be in the last pod as well, man. KP is slept on, my friend. This is the prediction, the hard prediction I'm giving to everybody.
Here we go. Prediction pod.
This is a hard take. Is that we've watched KP. He's been a prominent player in the NBA, but he's had 2 knee injuries and he hasn't healed until now. His last season was his best season, man. He had 1 game, 43 points. In another game, he had 19 boards. Forget about it. I already watched film on him booming on the boys in the action right now, practicing. He is going to be a prominent factor.
Obviously, Phil. We just mentioned Philly's much improved. I'm not scared of Milwaukee, dude. Should I be?
No.
They're like number 25 in defense right now. They're last in the league.
Yep. What did I say? Defense. It's all offense. Nope. Yep. All set. Feeling good, man. Feeling great.
But the West, dude, before we get into, and I know you have some stuff you want to chat about, but the West, man, the West, every time we get on this podcast, talk hoops, it's just so deep. There's so many great teams.
Nuggets, Maverick, number 1, Dallas Mavericks, number 2. Did you see Luka going off the other night? He scored 44.
He's
Yeah.
MVP right now. 9 games
Yeah,
in.
and the Joker, and Embiid as well.
I know they're doing it quietly again. Is it Denver doing the quietly thing again?
Oh, they play. It doesn't.
Quietly doing their
Yep.
thing. I don't
Warriors
like that.
at fourth.
Yeah.
It's still so
But we haven't
early.
even talked about my Oklahoma City Thunder.
I know you're Chet's in.
Ooh, down on Chet.
No, I'm not. I'm
Somebody
not.
said-
I and I wanted to use this pod to apologize to Chet and to Victor
Ooh,
because they are true
little
unicorns.
unicorn apologies.
And with that, we're just gonna get right into the unicorn quiz.
Yeah, the coach's quiz.
It's the unicorn quiz.
Oh, the unicorn quiz.
Yep. Because I wanted just to make up for my wasn't bad talking to them. I'm like, they look like big tall skeletons. They're gonna get broken in half, but eventually down the road, I mean, he got Joker. There's one game Joker gave it to Chet. Remember at the beginning of the year? That was one of the first games this season. And Chet went to
is your apology from our first episode of this season?
Yeah, I was just like,
summertime.
I was just like, these guys,
Summer League.
And we're just talking. I'm like, they're not going to make it. They're just, I thought they were just too frail. But Victor's the real deal. Chet is too. I don't know if people know he redshirted his first year was last year, but he broke his foot. I think it was a break in his foot. It was a foot injury, and he was out the whole season. So this is his rookie year. This is his first year, and they're both making impacts. Are you ready? Are you ready?
I'm ready, man. Bring it.
Quiz.
Dude, I am so ready.
So apologies, and here he goes. Makeup for Chet. There you go.
The makeup for Chet. Unicorn quiz.
They're doing a great job. So do you know, question 1, who the original NBA unicorn is, where this term came from?
So easy, dude. Softballs are good in the first question.
And it's not what you think it is. It's softball.
Kristaps Porzingis.
What? That's the modern NBA.
You mean the unicorn thing happened before Kristaps Porzingis?
Story of the original NBA unicorn. A unicorn is one of a kind player, and the word unicorn in the NBA, it's like something you've never seen before, unique. There have been a few like Kristaps, so you're not all wrong there, because the modern day, when we started hearing this again, was Kristaps. Very good. Most people don't know that. Now we have it. Also the Greek, him and the Greek, but it was Kristaps who got that. But in the 1980s, in the NBA, this man, what is his name, came from
the 80s or 90s?
80s.
80s?
The NBA unicorn.
Are you sure there was a unicorn moniker in the NBA in the 80s?
This is facts.
This is facts. It is the coach.
This is research right here. So,
all right, coach.
The original unicorn came into the NBA in the 1980s, and I'm giving you some clues here. Out of the University of Virginia.
Oh, Ralph Sampson.
Boom! Ding, ding, ding! You're welcome, Hoop fans, from Coach Murph. 2 podcast Paul's birthday present, too. A little unicorn birthday present, because he loves Chet.
Well, and personally for me, I have some closeness to him because I went to the American University, which is part of the Colonial Athletic Association at the time. They now moved to a different conference, but they played in the same conference as Mr. Ralph Sampson.
There you go.
Wait, was he Virginia?
That's right, University of Virginia.
Maybe he was a coach. I don't know. Somehow he was connected there. So Ralph Sampson.
Can you guess the pick in a year he came into the NBA with the draft? Guess. 3, 2, 1.
1986.
3. 1983.
That was Elijah Wan.
He was the number 1 pick.
Yep.
And he had a unique play style because of the size. How tall was he?
7'2".
7'4".
Whoa.
With athletic of the original unicorn. You're welcome.
Wow.
You're welcome, folks.
Whoa.
The athletic ability, the quickness, the soft hands, and he also had a really high basketball IQ, man. He was an unbelievable player. Wow. Some injuries held him back a little bit, but he was the all-star. He was an all-star 4 times, rookie of the year. He was the MVP of the all-star game. In 5 seasons in Houston, he would average almost 20 points per game, almost 11 rebounds, two assists, 1 block per game. But
Wow.
he was something
That
special.
was
Yeah,
a stumper, man. That
that's
was good.
that.
I like that. I like that a lot.
That's it, man. There's the original. Now we'll talk a little bit about Chet. All right, this is Podcast Paul's favorite. When was Chet born?
I'm going to go with 1996.
Whoa, he's 21. He's only 21. May 1st, 2002, he was born.
I feel like that wasn't that long ago.
What is he listed? His height listed at?
He is 7 feet straight up.
7'1".
Ooh.
So I'm just going to give you a 1 so you can get a ding ding. Ding dong.
Give me a
What
ding dong.
college did he go to?
He went to Gonzaga, the Zags, baby.
And he was in the draft. He came out of the draft.
I got my ding ding, right?
Ding ding ding. But what pick was he in the draft? 2002.
Yeah, it was number 1.
His number, he was the second overall pick.
Should have known.
Who was the first overall pick in the 2022 draft? Ooh.
I don't know, man. Darn, brain went dead.
Ooh, ding dong.
Ding dong.
The Magic drafted out of Duke.
Oh, Paolo
Yes,
Banchero or what?
Paolo Banchero.
Oh, close enough.
Banchero. Yeah, he's a player, man.
Yeah.
There you go. Almost done. We're just going through this little unicorn quiz, but Chet is a great player, and I was like, nah. And he's and then obviously Wemby's a great player. But his early life career was in Minnesota.
Yeah.
His college career, do you know anything about his college career? It was short. On November 22nd, the 7-foot freshman finished with 19 points, 7 of 9, 3 of 3 from the line. But the man had 7 blocks, 5 assists.
Yeah.
It's
he didn't play that great in the tournament because I didn't even think they went that far that year.
And the only 2 players. This isn't just this. I'm gonna go off the quiz just to tell you. It was the first time in history, in NBA history, that 2 players, Wemby and Chet, they have 10 in the first 6 games, 10 blocks, 10 threes,
Wembayama.
like threes and blocks, dude. Like a lot.
Wemby, man.
But who is the other man out of Minnesota that has the highest drafted pick? But this is history. Come on, you know who he is. The NBA Hall of Famer, Green Machine.
Oh, the ticket, man, Garnett.
Oh no, that's true. No, I mean he lived there.
Huh? Wait, what? Kevin McHale. Yeah,
I just want to bring Kevin McHale into that
a unicorn
into the situation. Yeah. So and let's go on to Victor a little bit.
Oh man,
how tall is Victor?
Maybe the biggest storyline of the night. We talked about the in-season tournament. We talked about all these great teams. We talked about other stuff here in the first 9 games, but I would say this might be the number 1 storyline in the NBA right now is Victor Wembanyama.
Let's finish with Wemby.
All right.
How tall is he?
7'3".
7'4".
Ooh, he's also a Ralph Sampson.
How old is he?
19.
That's right. Ding.
Hey, ding, ding.
Finally. But he's been playing. All the players in the NBA are like, what is this? This guy, like,
well, he's got a new term. He's not a unicorn. He's an alien.
He's
an NBA alien.
Yeah, to me, he's a step above Chet. Chet's been effective, and they're both just good players. But I've never seen this wingspan, like the block like that. I've never seen Kareem just popped in my head, and then Wilt the still popped in my head, but I've never seen anybody block like somebody like that. Yeah. This guy at the block that he had, one of them, I was like, I've never seen anything like that. It wasn't.
I know. I mean, I thought the Cornet contest was the best block I've ever seen, but yeah, no, he's got.
But he is the tallest active NBA player as well. So, he's began his professional career obviously in France. He's French, and I just wanted to give him props about what he's doing. He's effective on the Spurs. He's got some great numbers. That's it, man. That's
And
when they
they're
get
actually, they haven't really put a team around him,
no.
and they're playing okay considering. I mean, 9
Yes.
games in, they're not at the bottom. They're like middle of the pack with a crappy team around him. I mean,
Yes.
I don't get that actually. Like, get a couple more good players. You kind of waste. I mean, I know that he's going to be around a while, but why not go in all in with him right now?
He's breaking records already. David Robinson did what he did
Yeah,
when it comes to numbers,
yeah.
So they're just it's amazing watching these guys, watching what he's doing. So I just wanted to give him a little props, some love. Looking like they're going to be the rookie of the year, and I was wrong. So there you go.
Man, you got me on
More
that quiz, man.
and trivia. Oh,
Trick
wow.
me. You got me a little Victor. You got me a trick question.
Yeah,
It's a great one. I love that.
Yeah, with the Samson was right, the Ralph. So there you go, guys. Moving on.
So moving on, man. Like, considering we just started 9 games in, and this is our first pod in the regular season, it's amazing all the cool things going on.
Yeah.
See, now I got you sold in the in-season tournament, didn't I, Coach? You're in.
No. I like
the courts. What about the unis? What about the new unis?
I like the NBA. I feel is the most creative league. They did the best. I always say during the pandemic. This has been going on. They've been talking about the in-season tournament for 15 years. I don't know if you know that.
Oh,
you read that? You didn't know? They've been talking about this for years.
Knowledge.
And it's because our guy there. Oh my gosh, I just forgot about our NBA commissioner's name.
Silver.
Thank you,
Adam Silver.
Yes, Adam. He loves the European soccer. That's why this is all set up like the European Soccer League. So that's why they're doing that, and that's fun. But the Victor and Chet, the unicorn noise, and then the Clippers. I wanted to talk about them. All these super teams.
Go for it, man.
All these, and just
they lost by like 40 points to the Mavericks last night. But go ahead.
But I know Dame going over. All the different moves that were made this season.
All right, yeah,
so it's fun. But James Harden's a problem. Sorry, James, you're the problem, dude. I think they're 0-2 with him.
0-3.
Ooh,
and they lost by like 40 points last night to the Mavericks.
But if they can get it together, man, that's Kawhi.
We've been saying that for since Kawhi got there.
Podcast P, the second. Paul George, Kawhi, Russell, Westbrook, and Harden. Get your teats together. Get it together, man. And you can, that's an unstoppable force, man. But to me, it all comes down to the Green Machine, the best team in the NBA. We have the best players. We have the best 5. So it's just, Garnett was saying he's a little worried about Porzingis. But Pierce, don't you worry about him. It's not all centered around him. He's not going to have to. We have so many other weapons.
Yeah.
Lou coming in, grabbing 10 boards. I'm happy with that. Big Al, do your thing. It's just that's it.
I got a prediction.
What?
Next time we get on this pod, you're going to do another apology to about the in-season tournament, because the next time we get on, you're going to be so excited. The championship will be here. You're not going to know what to do with yourself. You're going to have the new uni on. But that's my question to you right now, Coach. So obviously we're still in the beginning. This group play goes till the end of the month, like I spelled out for everybody. Yeah. So who are your predictions? Who is going to make it to the final when we get on here? Because we're coming on that Saturday. We're going to come on right before the championship. Nice. Is that cool? Does that work for you?
That works out perfect.
We'll get on. We'll preview the championship in Vegas.
Saturday night. Cool.
So when we get on, what's your prediction? Who do you think is going to make it to the final? And right now, just to remind you, the East leaders, granted, we just started this thing, Boston, Philly, Boston South, Charlotte Hornets, and the Miami Heat. Do you think that's going to stay true? We got somebody else in the East that's going to come out that you see in the final.
Pacers.
Whoa, you're going with the Pacers?
Yeah, they're third.
You don't want your Boston Celtics in the final?
And the 76ers, dude.
Oh, so you're so you're 76ers.
Yeah, the Sixers and the Celtics.
Oh, so you say the semifinals. Semifinals is going to be the Pacers, Sixers, with the Sixers going to the final.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. And in the
We're
West.
winning it all, dude. Green wins everything. They're going to
Well,
win.
hold on. Wait. Maybe you misunderstood. So the
First
final's
year.
going to be, it's going to be an East team. It's going to be a West team.
Yeah, I know.
Just like the NBA championship, baby.
Yeah, I know.
So who's going to be the East? So you're saying Celtics are going to make it?
Dude, we're the first year we're going to win the cup, dude. And
all right. Here we go.
The ring.
I see what you're saying. So you're saying the semifinal or the quarterfinals.
Yeah.
It'll be Boston, Philly, Indiana, and somebody else.
You got
Whatever.
it.
Gotcha.
Yep.
But you
Indiana
want you got Celtics. You got Celtics.
We took it to Indiana, but they trust me, Halliburton. This team. I watched the game.
We beat them by like 60 points.
Doesn't matter. I know. No, they just won by 40. Like literally won by 40.
Yeah.
We beat them by the same. But just trust me. Watch.
All right.
Another prediction.
So who's going to make it in the West? Right now, you got Denver, Minnesota, Utah, and the Kings. That's going to change up.
Dallas and
Dallas.
Yeah, Dallas and the Nuggets. You're not stopping the Nuggets.
All right.
8-1.
Boston Nuggets.
Kyrie Irving was effective. He crushed it last game too. They're like with him. They're gonna.
All right.
We'll see.
So you're going with, and I brought this up earlier. So you're definitely going with the contenders are going to get into the in-season tournament and they're going to be excited about winning the cup, whoever that team is. I know you predicted our Celtics, but you're saying the contenders are going to show up. It's not them just going to coast and it's going to be some stinky team in there. It's going to be one of the contenders.
Ah, dude.
You know what I like that? I'll tell you why I like that. And this is why I'm getting into this thing, man. Imagine if it's Boston, Denver, or Boston, Dallas, a preview of the NBA Finals, going after a little trophy before the big trophy. Let's go.
We're getting the NBA Cup, they're calling it, and the ring this year.
Cup, baby.
The cup and a ring.
Cup and a ring.
Yeah, this is the year, dude. That's why this too is going to be historic.
Cup and a ring.
Remember, the NBA Cup. We got that first year. The first they won it. It's time. This is it.
All right.
It's it. Poor Zingas, man. I love watching this man play, dude. Him and JB are gelling together. Drew, dude. I'm just loving our team. So I got another quiz.
One more quiz.
It's an extravaganza, dude.
Oh, well, we are. That's what I was going to say. Like, is this podcast the extravaganza? We almost forgot it. 75.
75th. I got backups. It's just the NBA League Leaders quiz. Are you ready?
Let's go. Let's go out in style, man.
In points per game right now. Number one.
I'm not even looking. I'm going to say Luka.
Boom! Ding, ding, ding.
Thank
Unicorn didn't start off
NBA,
so well, but this one is. Here we go. The energy just went. Let's go. Who is number 2? Points per game.
The Joker.
No, he's actually not in the top 5.
Oh, I'm going to mess up the guy's name. It's the dude from Oklahoma City Thunder.
Joel Embiid. That's why I've been saying he's in talks for the MVP, but it's just so early. 32.9 for Luka, 31.9 for Joel.
Yeah.
All right, we'll stop there. But I'll just fly through. It's Mitchell from the Cavs, Durant, Suns, Curry, Seth Curry.
All right.
All about 30. 32 is Luka's got 32. Rebounds per game. Who's number 1?
Ooh, rebounds per game would be, let me think. The Joker.
Number 2.
Ooh, good guess.
Number 1 is Rudy for the Timberwolves. See, that's why
French connection.
It's great because it's not just the scoring on that team, man. I would always say about defensive rebounds. Then DeAndre Ayton. Remember you brought him number 3 Trailblazers.
Yeah.
Also Robert Williams out for the year. Injuries.
Oh,
see that?
I saw that.
His knee done for the year.
Poor time, Lord. I let you.
Sabonis.
I don't want to talk about that.
The Kings. Use me. Sabonis and Robinson in the Knicks.
Got it.
Assists per game.
Assists per game. Halliburton.
Boom.
Ding dong.
There you go. That's why I'm picking him. He had a strong triple-double last game. It was like 19, 19, 13 or something crazy. High assists, high boards. Who's number 2?
Cade Cunningham.
No, but we're not talking about the Hawks.
Out of there.
Not talking about the Hawks much.
Trey?
Mr. Trey Young with 10.
Wow, he passes the ball.
We don't talk about Mr. Ball on the Hornets. He's third.
All right.
I like Mr. Ball. And guess who's fourth? Luca.
Ooh.
Yep.
All right.
Schroeder, Raptors. Van Fleet, Rockets. Number 5. Field goal percentage.
The Joker.
Nope, he's not on the top 5.
Really?
Mr. Williams on the Hornets, 74.2. Smith and the Pacers, 71. Potel, I don't know, European or whatever he is. Eastern European, 66% from the Raptors. I'll stop there. 3-pointers made.
Wait, is on that? I'm wondering if there's one more person on that list.
No,
Svi Mahalakun.
It's Mo. It's Wagner.
I just wanted to get that name out there.
No,
Svi Mahalakun.
Good job, dude. You did it, man. The pronunciation of speed, we were going over that. Forgot. Good job, dude. The Celtics player we have, shooter on our Celtics, Svi. So Seth Curry is number 1 with 3-pointers made. How many this season?
How many's made?
Yeah.
110.
No, not that much. 53.
All right.
Mark Hannon or McCannon from Jazz is 41. Luca again 39. All right, so we'll keep moving, and I'll go on. We'll finish with blocks and steals. Who's got the most blocks in the NBA right now?
Wembiyama
Per game.
Wemby.
Anthony Davis, 3.0. AD.
Oh, okay.
You know, and that's what Garnett was saying, that Zingis is the Anthony Davis of the East, like injury wise. I'm like, no, he's not, and that's what Pierce had a good point. It's like,
you?
No, but he's not that prominent, and like there's pressures all in AD.
Right.
It's not as much.
Right.
Porzingis
That's a great point.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's Pierce. Pierce said that. It's not as much like physical. All the, everything's falling on AD. All right. Wembanyama. Wemby, 2.6, number 3.
Yeah.
On the list. And right behind him is Chet. So they're top 5.
There they are, my guys.
Isn't that cool?
My guy.
Why to give him the quiz?
Yeah. That's
Steals
right,
per game, and we'll stop there. Number 1.
Steals per game. Oh, we got to bring an old friend in, Marcus Smart.
He's not anywhere near there, and bye-bye.
We're
not going to hear any more about him.
Yeah, Memphis.
He's gone. No, he's gone now. It's done. His career is now gone. But we love you, and we thank you for your being defensive player of the year, your prowess. What else? He was great. His energy.
Yeah. And Brad, we trust.
Yep. Paul George, not the original podcast, P. Number 1, 2.4. You're right. Tricked ya. Marcus Smart, number 2. He's still getting steals. He's getting steals. 2.3. He's on the Grizzlies. We love you, but you're not going to do anything.
Yep.
Neither. They're not going to do anything. We'll stop there. There you go.
Great quiz, man.
This is over
Great extravaganza. Hey, here's a question.
Yeah, man.
We started the pod off talking about the most downloaded pods of all time. This might be go rising up the charts, man. This is incredible. This is the most amazing pod of all time.
But don't you worry when it comes to the in-season tournament on December 9th. We'll start to feel it. The Christmas vibes. Don't get all caught up in the shopping. We got Thanksgiving coming up. Let's be thankful just for the day, just today. And that's it, man. It's it. It's the 75th extravaganza pod. It's finished. So it's peace, love, and the green machine, baby.
Just 2 Murphs talking hoops. The journey to June continues. The race to the cup continues. See you for championship Saturday in Las Vegas. Peace.